It was a rainy spring day. In the morning, children were hurrying to school, hiding under their umbrellas. A fifth-grade girl named Jill was walking slowly toward a crossroads. Her eyes kept closing as tiredness took over. Half asleep, she stepped onto the road, but the next moment someone suddenly yanked her jacket. Jill was thrown backward and fell onto the sidewalk. At that very second, a car rushed past, cutting through the air with a sharp whistle. One more split second, and the schoolgirl would have ended up under the wheels. Jill's heart was pounding like crazy. She looked around, but there was no one there. No passers-by, no witnesses. Despite the shock, she slowly felt calm and even happy. Life had given her a second chance. When she arrived at school, she noticed a crowd of students and teachers gathered near the notice board. A portrait of a ninth-grade student was hanging there. Another victim. For almost 2 years, strange and unexplained tragedies had been happening at their school. John from the 11th grade had fallen down the stairs and died. No one could figure out why. It was written off as an accident. Before that, the chemistry teacher had fallen out of a window while watering flowers in the classroom. Sadly, she didn't survive either. And now Jake, the student whose photo was on the board, had taken his own life by jumping from the roof of the apartment building where he lived. Rumors were going around that he was addicted to gambling and had gotten into serious debt, which supposedly drove him to it. "Hi, Jill," said a classmate with big glasses as he walked up to her. It was Mike. He was short, hardworking, and obsessed with studying, but Jill was pretty much his only close friend. Despite his young age, life hadn't been easy on him. He had no father, and his mother was seriously ill, so he had to take care of her on his own. "Hi, Mike. What do you think about all this? I don't believe it was an accident. I bet there's something more going on." "Take a close look at Jake's photo," Mike said. "Do you see that shadow or silhouette behind him? I first noticed it in the picture of Mrs. Lane, the chemistry teacher. At first, I thought it was just a defect. But later I found the same mark near everyone who died shortly before their tragedies. Look." He opened the gallery on his phone. "You're right," Jill said quietly. "Do you have any ideas what it could be?" I have plenty of theories, but there's one person who can definitely give us answers. Healer Bob. My mom is being treated by him. Thanks to him, we still have hope." After classes were over, the friends walked up to an old house. Behind a worn-out wooden fence, bees were buzzing over fragrant blooming trees. "Uncle Bob, are you home?" Mike shouted. "Hi there," a voice came from behind the gate. "Come on in." Inside the yard, Jill and Mike saw a tall man who looked like a writer or a scientist. Turning toward them, Bob said, "Interesting. And who is this?" "This is Jill," Mike said. "My classmate." "I see," Bob replied. "Nice to meet you. But there's someone standing behind you. An entity not from this world. I can feel its presence. Be careful, child. They don't come here for no reason, and you weren't chosen by chance." "Well, that's exactly why we're here," Mike began. "The answers aren't here," Bob interrupted. "You'll find them in an ancient temple filled with darkness. A place of old paintings and shadowy rooms. There is a door there, a path that leads into our world from hell." "And where is that?" Mike asked. "That's for you to figure out," Bob said calmly. "Think it through. Find the place. Then come back, and we'll talk properly." After saying goodbye, the kids stepped outside. "Is he always so mysterious?" Jill asked. Trust me, Bob tries to be as clear as possible, Mike replied. He's blind in real life, but he sees images from parallel worlds and describes them to us. When they reached the crossroads, they started to go their separate ways. Jill hadn't gone far when she heard a noise. She turned around and saw Mike lying on the ground, surrounded by 6 older bullies. "Hey, Four Eyes," one of them sneered. "Want to ride on my bike? You'll be the one doing the pedaling." Mike tried to get up, but every time he did, they kicked him and knocked him back down. Fear and panic washed over Jill. She knew she had to do something, but her mind went blank. Suddenly, an unexpected calm came over her, a strange confidence that everything was under control. Jill stood in the middle of the street, staring at the group of teenagers who were running around Mike, pushing him, hitting him, laughing. Suddenly, one of them stopped. He calmly walked to a bus stop and began climbing onto the roof. At first, his friends laughed. "Are you out of your mind? What are you doing?" But he didn't listen. Standing on the roof about 3 meters high, he shouted, "This is all for you, Jill. Can you hear me? Forgive me." Then he dove headfirst down. The bullies froze in horror. They rushed to him, trying to help. He was unconscious. They dragged him toward the hospital, constantly looking at each other and asking, "Who is Jill? How does he even know her?" "Are you okay?" Jill asked Mike. He stared at her wide-eyed. "Was that magic? Why did he say your name?" Mike stammered. "I don't know," Jill replied. "But I think I know what place Bob was talking about. There's an abandoned church near our school. No one's been there for years. Let's check it out." The next day, they went to the church, but the door was locked. Walking around the building, they found a small window without bars. Mike gave Jill a boost, and she climbed inside. Wandering through the old walls, Jill noticed a small icon in the far corner. It was hanging face down. When she turned it around, she saw a medieval square with a crowd of people. In the center, a human figure was burning at the stake. It looked more like a terrifying painting than an icon. After talking it over, they decided to temporarily take the artifact and bring it to the healer. "Yes," Bob said. "This is exactly what we were looking for. I don't approve of stealing, but this is the key to all the answers." "Do you see something?" Mike asked. "Take my hand, and you will see it too," Bob said. As Jill touched his hand, a blinding flash struck her. Darkness swallowed everything, and she felt herself falling into an abyss. When she opened her eyes, she was standing in the square with Mike and Bob. People were screaming all around them. "There's a demon inside her. Burn her." A priest was struggling toward the burning figure. "What are you doing, fools?" he shouted. "She is holding the evil captive. If you kill her, you will set it free." Suddenly, the fire went out. In an instant, black smoke covered the square. When it cleared, the priest was lying on the ground, writhing in agony. His body shot into the air, and a terrible growl burst from his chest. He fell to the ground and charged at the crowd like a wild beast, jumping on people, knocking them down, biting, kicking, throwing them aside. Fighting back was pointless. He climbed trees and attacked from above. Panic seized Jill. She wanted to run but didn't know where. Suddenly, the ground gave way again, light flashed, and she was back in Bob's yard, holding hands with Mike and the healer. "What the hell was that?" Mike shouted. "Now I have the answers," Bob said calmly. "You've probably heard of beings who come from other worlds. wiser and stronger than us. Most of them are fugitives. To stay under the radar, they steal human bodies, pushing the soul out. But sometimes, a person's will is so strong that it enslaves the dark force instead. The deaths at your school weren't random. The demon entered our world through the old church. It was hiding by possessing people. When it was discovered, it had to kill its host to move on. That continued until it fell into a trap, Bob said, looking at Jill. You. So Jill can control it like a slave? Mike asked. Not exactly, Bob replied. She can use its power, but darkness always looks for a way out. You must learn to live with it until the demon is reclaimed by the world it came from. That doesn't sound like a curse, Mike said bitterly. It sounds like a gift. I saw what Jill did to that bully. I've always been weak. No one respects me. I'd love to have that kind of power. You're mistaken, Mike, Bob said softly. And one day, you may lose the most precious thing you have without even realizing its value. That night, Mike couldn't fall asleep. His thoughts kept going back to Jill and everything that had happened. Suddenly, he heard a voice, quiet, distant. He sat up and looked around. Black smoke began to seep from under the bed, hissing with a sinister whisper and filling the room. The ground opened beneath him, and Mike fell into the void. When he opened his eyes, he was back on the empty square. You're welcome, my lord, a voice said. A dark figure in a hood and robe stood before him. Where am I? Mike asked. Who are you? A wanderer, the figure replied. The healer must have told you about me. The demon. Mike gasped. Are you here to kill me? Come on, there's no need to take it that way. I'm your friend, and I want to help if you help me in return. You see, here's the thing, we have a lot in common. I ran away from injustice in my own world. It's far from paradise there, at least not the way you imagine it. They called me a demon, an unclean force, just because my views didn't line up with those in power. You killed people at our school, Mike snapped. Let's just say it was an accident. I needed their bodies to lie low. Had I been able to stay there, I swear, none of your friends would have been harmed in any way. But then the hunt began. The angels of death came after me, and things got out of hand. But let's get down to business. I know all about your worries. A hard life, a sick parent, being looked down on by others. And honestly, how many of them could carry such a burden and still keep their dignity? If it were up to me, I'd heal your mother in a heartbeat. I can grant you power and knowledge no human has ever possessed. But I'm trapped. Your friend Jill's mind has me under her thumb. With each passing day, my strength is slipping away. So what are you asking me to do? Mike said cautiously. Help me carry out a ritual to set me free. Jill trusts you, all you have to do is talk her into it. What kind of ritual is it? Is it dangerous for Jill? Not at all. In fact, I was the one who saved her from dying on the road. Ask her yourself. I come in peace. My purpose is to help you humans, my younger brothers. To free you from wars and diseases. To pass on wisdom. And those you call gods, they're just using you for their own amusement. They watch your suffering, laugh at your pain. That's why I ran away. And that's exactly why they cursed me. I believe you, Mike said. Your words sound sincere. Excellent. Then we have a deal. Do what I ask, and I'll heal your mother. I'll teach you everything I know. There's just one condition. May this conversation Stay strictly between us.